Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this a couple years with my fiance, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I kind of have to go fast today because this is everything that we are shipping out today on Monday. This is all from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is finally an above average dollar amount and quantity of items. So I'm super happy about it. This is literally like the reason to do eBay. I'm going to talk about this after I go through all the items, just about a couple things we were doing, like a couple games we were playing, and it's cool to essentially, we were making money from all the hard work we put into listing and sourcing this stuff, and then on the weekend we're just enjoying stuff and then get to make money. That's like a really cool part about eBay, at least for me. All right, the first thing that sold is right here. These are broken bits and pieces. This is a painted, it looks like a metal orc raider on like a boar for Warhammer Fantasy. They can probably glue this back together. I didn't want to spend the time gluing it back together. This sold in the international shipping program for $15 plus shipping. All of our items are going to be plus shipping, so I'm just going to save us time by not mentioning it for every item. All right, next up is a lot of Outbreak Undead role-playing game tokens. These are like plastic-ish ones. It said Outbreak Undead on there, so I was like, I don't know how I identified these, but yeah, these sold for $12.50 to a repeat buyer. There's just like different numbers, red and yellow numbers on here. I haven't played that, so I'm not sure what they do, but I picked them up. I like picking up little tokens like that when I find them. All right, next up is a combo order. These are 2 lots of Star Wars 1997 trading cards right here. This is a lot of 136. This is a lot of 124. These sold together for $40. I love to lot up dead card games. I'm pretty sure this is like a dead card game. I know there's been like a super popular new Star Wars card game that I know very little about other than it exists. I don't think these are compatible with that, but yeah, I always do well with this stuff. I have a bunch of Star Wars cards. They do sell slower because these are kind of more common from the 90s. So yeah, I looked up like the individuals or anything that stood out to make sure that nothing was worth a listing individually. All right, next up is an item over here. I have to actually get up a little bit. Sorry, everyone. All right, this right here, The Oceans Are Endless on Meridian. It's a sci-fi RPG book with like some like extra sheet here for information. Yeah, this definitely could be either custom or something from a Kickstarter, so I got to ask a little bit more for it. I sold this for $19.52. We grab a lot of RPG stuff, especially something that looks weird or different or something that I haven't seen before. I'll pick it up. All right, next up is a Cartman little figure right here. It's a little plastic one. He has some like vents and stuff. He does eventually make noise if you shake him, but it's only like semi-work. So I didn't even mention the sounds in there, or maybe I did in the description. But yeah, he's like a couple inches high. He has some scuff marks. This little thing on the bottom, which I think is the sound device when you move it. This sold for $20, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I got this during one of my table hauls. I can't remember now. There's been a couple of them that we've posted, so the memory decay is starting to settle in. All right, next up is a lot of 31 The Walking Dead All Out War dice for the dice game. Dice are really cool. I love dice, all kinds of dice. I love rolling them. Anetta says I have really good luck with dice, and then Anetta's the type of person that she rolls dice and she gets the lowest number almost always. Wait, what? You don't agree? I thought you said you had bad luck with dice. All right, moving on. She has the best luck with dice as well. All right, so yeah, this is for a board game. I can like picture the cover of it. I don't know much about it. I think there's miniatures. It might have been a Kickstarter or maybe by CMON. But yeah, these are a bunch of dice for it. Someone just wants more. This sold for $18 just for the dice for that board game. All right, next up is a combo order. If you've been watching the past week or so of videos, we've been selling a bunch of these. So this is a lot of 32. This is a lot of 46. And then there is one more lot of 32. These are Warhammer 4th edition, like points cards, spell cards, stat cards, something like that. I don't know too much other than when we did our table haul video, there's like a bucket of just Warhammer 4th edition, like not miniatures, but bits and pieces like these. So I just lotted up the ones that looked similar. It looked like there was Chaos Marines, Khorne, Demons. I don't know if they say demons or daemons. Yeah, these are small little cards. These look cute. These look awesome. Like these actually, I don't know why they were cool to list, and they have like cool art on the back. So yeah, all of these sold for $61.97. That is almost most of those 4th edition stat cards gone out the door. All right, next up is a Paizo dry erase board for RPG games, for Dungeon Masters, for their players. This one's going to be like, there's outdoor, and then I believe this is indoor. These are 1-inch grids where people DMs just put all the miniatures on, and they say every square is like 5 feet, 10 feet, and then you play your scenario, and then you can probably use dry erase markers on it to denote buildings or whatever you want, or you could put accessories on here like terrain pieces. This sold for $9.75. All right, moving along, this one right here is, normally I keep like Blizzard stuff, like books like this, World of Warcraft Dungeon Companion. This is Dungeon Companion number 3. I believe I didn't really play many of these dungeons or raids, so yeah, it's just going to go through all the dungeons and raids for this particular era. I only briefly remember a couple. This must have been when I got out of World of Warcraft and I was busy with college and work, so there was just no time for video games. So this sold for $7.59. It kind of has some like wear on the side down here, so it's not the best condition. That's probably why I didn't get that much for it. All right, moving along, I sold this is a Victory Insider Vietnam Part 2. I forget the particular magazine that these things come in. It's like a little scenario or booklet. This sold for $7.50. Moving along, next up we have a radio that I listed recently right here. I think Annetta grabbed this from, I think a Savers. There's like a Savers stickers on it. This is a travel series radio alarm clock, Spirit of St. Louis. So it opens up, it's like a little bookcase. I was able to like unscrew the side and then test the radio. The radio works. And then I needed an even smaller like screwdriver to try to test the clock. I couldn't, just with all my little bits and my whole toolkit, I just couldn't get the smaller one open. So I mentioned that like I wasn't able to test the clock, but I was able to take pictures of it. So hopefully that's not like a deal breaker for them. This sold for $34.99. All right, moving along, we have some Reaper Bone miniatures right here. This is a super popular miniature company. This is just a female dwarf paladin. There you go, for an RPG. This is from, it says on the back, March 2022. So this is a recent one. I don't really know where Reaper Bone miniatures are right now, but I guess yeah, they're still pumping out some stuff. So this one for $12.60. Moving along, we have some more dice. If I can find them. You see the dice? I'm losing track of everything at this point. No, it's not these dice. Oh no. I can't see. I know I have them somewhere. They're probably like right in front of my face. Yep, they're there. They were hidden under here. These are 7 Dark Souls Red and Black dice for the board game by Steamforged Games. It's a really well done game. I haven't played it, but I've seen it before. It's good quality. Steamforged Games makes good video game IP games. I think they kind of broke the mold of, you look at a board game, if it was a IP for a movie or something, you would think it's junk. No, they actually did a really good job making strategy games. They also do like Guild Ball and some other, a bunch of other stuff these days. These sold for $19.99 just for the dice for the board game. So yeah, it's a pretty expensive big box board game, and there's tons of expansions. All right, moving along, something that I just got recently, and I'm about to, no, this is the first thing that sold. This is Author's Card Game. This is from, let's see, the 1960s. Yeah, it says Mark Twain on it. A bunch of little cards. This is like 2 inches or like 3 inches by 2 inches, or maybe like 2 by 1. Really cool. Sold for $19.99. So I'm already $20 into the haul for $105. This was barely even like a dent of everything we got on the table there. That was the video I most recently posted. If you want to take a look at it, I'm going to dig into a lot of that stuff today. I only listed about 30 items from that haul on Friday. All right, moving along, we have another Games Workshop 4th edition booklet. It's going to be the Renegades booklet right here. I don't know too much about this. This is either going to be like an army or something like that. This says Chaos Data Sheet on the back. I think I only have like 1 or 2 of these books left. These are the same things I got from the 4th edition stat cards. This sold for $13.12, and this is a repeat buyer. So they were excited to come back to get something, so we've been having a lot of good luck with repeat buyers. All right, coming on up is Ace Attorney Phoenix Writes right here. This is a manga. This is volume 1. I don't know anything about this. I think this is a 1st edition book when I looked into it. Usually it tells you like on the front or something like that. You have to, I also check other people's listings to make sure that I'm correct. I don't know if this was Anetta's or something from the past. No, we have no idea where we got this. Yeah, this sold for $30. Maybe during like a bulk book purchase, and it happened to be like in a, like tossed on the side somewhere. All right, moving along is a really good sale right here. This is a vintage 1960s nylon sportsman trailer attachment, blue and white. This is like pressed steel. This sold for $80. It probably could have gone for more if it was in better condition. I think some other people have them for like $120 or $125, but theirs look a lot nicer. But yeah, this was pretty cool. This was just sitting there for a while, and I just had to have the right size of box to list into. And then I had like one space left. This could fit in the box, and then I listed it, and it sold for $80 because it's kind of like a weird thing to store with all these bits and pieces jetting out. All right, it's probably our best sale from everything besides the combo orders. All right, next up is a lot of 3 GKR Heavy Hitters support miniatures. I believe that's like a board game miniature game. I'm not sure how popular or unpopular it is. It's been a while since I saw it. Oh, you can't really see them. They're like 3 little like helicopters on like these black hexagons that look like a couple inches. One's orange, another one's I think like a green, and another one's blue. But yeah, these are just gonna be miniatures for that game. Oh, I think that's I could be incorrect, but GKR Heavy Hitters is a board game that Weta made. They're the people that did the Lord of the Rings props and stuff for the movie. So yeah, it's like this big boxed game where you play like big mechs and you're fighting each other, basically like a dueling game. And these, I think, are just a couple like support miniatures. You know, they're not going to be the main thing. They'll probably do like repairs or something like that. So yeah, this sold for $11. All right, moving along are a bunch of binder pages. I do like to keep these, the clean ones. This is just, I labeled 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. This is 87 of them. There's Ultra Pro, BCW, and then some like, I think Ultra Pro and BCW. So I locked them up by type and like by quality. Some of them are worse quality. These ones are pretty good. Yeah, these were, these are like the things that like the trading card lots, like the Star Wars cards come in, and I will keep the ones that look like pretty good. I make sure that they are pretty good to sell. A lot of people probably would have tossed this out, right? With the rest of the binder, like the janky beat up binders. You know, I like to still keep these. They take up a good amount of space. Maybe it's just like a personal thing to like recycle and sell these. I don't think it's the best use of time, but I still like to do it. So $13 for this, not too bad for something probably most other people would have tossed aside or not even listed or thought about. All right, next up is a Wii game. This one is going to be X-Men Origins Wolverine. Let's see where that's at. It's going to be right here. Yep, there's no scratches on this. This one should work just fine. This one sold for $9.99. I get random like janky video games pretty cheap, and I like to list them for $10, and this one sold, so that's awesome. I've never played that one, so I don't know too much about it. All right, moving along, we have a set of Splendor tokens. This was an interesting sale for me because like I guess the game's gotten really expensive, but yeah, I feel like the board game used to be like $30, $35, $40. Maybe it's more now. It's been a while. Asmodee, I think, owns the rights to it. These tokens, they're good. The poker chips just to play the game sold for $19.99. You still need like the cards, but yeah, I guess this is half the game. $19.99 for a set of 40 of them. That's awesome. I'll take it. You know, that's why I list everything. They are pretty heavy, and yeah, they paid the shipping for it, so there you go. All right, next up is a combo order. They bought 2 of something. These are Ral Partha Cavalry flat bases for, I want to say like 25 millimeter, yeah, metal miniatures right here. So you put your little miniatures on it, usually Cavalry, because they have like 2 spaces, so they're like elongated. Yeah, this sold for $21.60 for the pair to someone. All right, moving along, we have a I don't know, Kenshin book, Rurouni. I don't know, I'm like stumbling across this profiles book, like an anime manga type of volume right here. This is in English. This sold for $11.34. It's by Shonen Jump. They do a lot of like the Japanese manga stuff. So yeah, I'll grab manga like that because I know it's pretty popular. All right, next up is a military-ish book on a leader, Montgomery, right here. I have a bunch of these war leader books. They weren't like the best condition. They have like some scratches in the edging, but the inside's really clean. So yeah, this one sold for $12. I have like another 20 or so of these that I already listed, ready to go. All right, moving along is, in my opinion, I think the most well thought out and best card game, and also the best value for a card game, if I can actually find it. Oh boy, come on. I'm really, all right here. Right here, Keyforge. This is a Dis, Untamed, and Sanctum deck. I don't really want to show the back, not that, or I guess I'll hide the QR code. I don't know if that matters. But yeah, this is a thing, a card game where you buy the deck. You can't change any cards. On the back, it shows exactly what you get in the deck right there, so you can know what you're getting. And they're made by algorithms, so it's going to be always pretty random. This one's like Philosopher, Amatrill, Teller. They make up names for them. Every deck has a unique name. All the cards will have that name, so you know which one belongs to which deck. This sold for $9.99. It's a really cool card game. All right, next up is a vintage sign right here. This is Westwood Softgrift Golf Clubs right here. This is like one of those like tin signs. This is like probably like 1.5 feet by like a foot or something like that. This sold for $12. It says like someone put a Made in USA sticker on the back. There's like the sticky tack that they used to hang it up. But yeah, this sold for $12. I think we got this from like a Goodwill, I think, or a thrift store. I want to say Goodwill. I think Annetta grabbed that one. All right, moving along for a DVD. It's a Polish video. I'm not going to try to say this one right here, but I think this is a movie. This sold for $30. We got this from an estate sale from like a Polish family. So yeah, anytime you grab unique DVDs, they're good shape. What? Sami Swój? Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, this sold for $30. It's going to be a unique one, and if someone wants it in Polish, there probably wasn't many on list on eBay, if any. I was maybe the only one, but yeah, it sold for $30. All right, moving along. This is a lot of 293 Risk pieces with some extras. So yeah, I got a bunch of these. You saw this in one of my table videos. They do sell slowly. This is like, they do go. People want replacement pieces for their game. They don't want to get a new board or anything. They just want the pieces, or maybe they want to like play a crazy game where they get a bunch of, they're allowed to have like 5,000 armies on board. I don't know. All right, this sold for $22.99. All right, moving along is another book, the Apache Wars right here. This is going to be a hardcover book. We get a bunch of these military books all the time. I don't know too much about this one, but yeah, this sold for $20.99. All right, moving along is a lot of 3 more books. Books on Scotland, I believe. They're smaller ones, so I have to like find where I put them. Right here. There you go. It's gonna be. These are like, I think, Scotland travel books about different places. These were probably from a thrift store, estate sale. These sold for $21 plus shipping. All right, moving along is a World War II book, Hitler's Panzers East, World War II reinterpreted. Right here. It's not a hardcover, but it's like a trade paperback type of thing, so it's like a better material. Yeah, people are always picking up war stuff, and especially World War II. This sold for $12. Next up is a bunch of Warhammer. I don't know if these are 4th edition. I'm just going to assume because they're there with the rest of the 4th edition stuff that they are. These are like spell cards. They're like kind of like a cardboard, or I guess they're psychic power cards. Yeah, psychic power, they say on there. They have a bunch of like rules in the back. Maybe you spend your points on these, and like your magical users can cast them or something like that. I've technically never played. Yeah, so this sold for $34.99 to a repeat buyer. All right, moving along, we have a ice cream maker right here. This thing is super old. This is like top 100, 200 original listings. I remember getting this. I think it was for, I believe this $1 or $2 at like a Goodwill or something. This only sold for $10, so not the best buy, but it's still good. You know, it took 4 years, but it's all good. Yeah, it's cool to see like old stuff sell, you know. That's why we don't unlist stuff. It does sell eventually. All right, next up is a album right here, a photo album. It holds up to 200 photos for 4 inches by 6 inches. Yeah, you can find these things at like yard sales, church sales, estate sales. They're okay to grab. They take up a lot of space and they're pretty heavy. This sold for $15.16. I'm glad to get the space back, honestly, in the box it was in. All right, moving along. It's kind of already sealed. So I guess I'll just show you the outside cover of it. I think I already pre-sealed this because I didn't want pieces to go missing. This is a 1925 Parker Brothers Peggotty board game. It is complete. So yeah, this sold for $20. There was a time where we got a bunch of really vintage and antique board games, and they did pretty well. This one, a lot of people happen to have compared to the other ones that we sold for a lot. So yeah, this sold for $20. All right. Sorry, you can't see that one. All right, moving along. These are Risk Legacy pieces. If you want to play Risk Legacy, spoilers in the next 3 seconds for it. All right, yeah, these are the aliens that you unlock in that game. These are just like all the player pieces, UFOs and little aliens that you get, I believe, when you like activate a bunch of, I think, like bombs or nukes in the game or something. This happens. These sold for $10.12. So yeah, someone wants more of these figures from Risk Legacy. All right, moving along is Great Mouse Detective pin right here. This is 3 inches. This sold for $12.91. I don't remember this particular movie. I'm sure I saw it when I was a kid. We get a bunch of these pins from a thrift store. I actually remember these. These are like 50 cents or $1. We got a bunch, and we made a good amount of money on the pins. They were like a lot of cool pop culture, well done pins. All right, moving along is a combo order for a tabletop miniature game, Gear Creek hardcover rulebook right here. This one right here is the hardcover, and this is an Allies source book, so this is just going to have additional information on the Allies army. This sold for $30. So yeah, it's awesome. I think we sold some of the stuff recently as well. I'm just like absolutely out of space. I'm sorry if the framing's bad, but I have to move along. All right, next up is a beat-up box, M988 two-man cab troop carrier miniature model kits. I'm pretty sure it's complete. The box is just smushed completely. I took pictures of everything inside. This sold for $19.80. It's been a while since we were able to source some of that stuff, and we sell it relatively quick. Next up is a Animal Rummy card game right here. I know this would look like a lot of junk to a lot of people. I can tell this looked like good quality. There's like a cool bat, bear, elephant, and bird. Like the cards are in good shape. People do love family games. I know this looks like junk, but if anything does kind of like look better quality or out of the ordinary, or like a kid would enjoy it, definitely worth picking up. This sold for $18. All right, moving along is my last promo board. I've sold a couple of these recently. Right here. This is for Railroad Inc., the board game, a roll and write. Think like Yahtzee, roll dice, and they make decisions. This one, you're trying to connect different tracks. This is a promotional board for a player. This sold for $10.93. It's showing that this is a repeat buyer. I think they bought my other promo board, so maybe they just wanted more. But yeah, this is the last one that I had. All right, we're kind of getting almost there. All right, next up is 101 Airborne and Normandy. I think this is a big box PC game. Yeah, it's a big box PC game. Look at that. It has like decent art, cool little like a big box that they can display in their shelf. Is sold for $12. This is a repeat buyer. We have a lot of people that come to us for PC games. I can tell because we get a lot of repeat buyers on the PC game. All right, next up is a board game. We sell this one fairly often, and I think we still have more. This is Luftwaffe, the game of aerial combat over Germany. Right here, the box has some dents and marks and wear. Doesn't matter. You disclose those in pictures. This one's complete. This sold for $20.25. All right, next up is a pack of 5. Yep, just bicycle D6 dice. These are like the classic dice that a lot of people think of when they're thinking of dice. These sold for $8.09. So yeah, this probably cost me $0.25 at like a state sale or something, maybe 50 cents. But yeah, it does sell. People want like the nice fresh dice out of the pack. Maybe they don't want them used. They want to make sure it's the same bicycle that they remember. All right, next up is an item we got from Annette's mom for free. It's going to be like a miniature dollhouse chair. This is by a company I think called Rain. It's a purple slope wingback dollhouse chair right here. It's like pretty good like resin or something material, like metal or something. These are good quality. We sold some of these. This sold for someone who's building up their dollhouse for $18.75. So yeah, this was free. This stuff was going to be thrown away by someone, and I listed all of the chairs and shoes that we got from the person. People love miniature stuff, including like dollhouse stuff. All right, next up is a set of 4 board game player pieces. I actually couldn't figure out what game these went to, which is sad because they have like, there's like a knight, there's castles, and there's houses, and then there's like a Coliseum building as well. These were like for 4 different players. Whoever's buying it must know what game it goes to. These sold for $19.99. All right, moving along. I also have this one wrapped up because I don't know. I guess I wrapped it up at the time. I'm not sure why. This is Lords of Waterdeep, the Skullport. Scoundrels of Skullport expansion. It is a really cool worker placement game based off the Dungeons and Dragons realm of Waterdeep. It's a really cool expansion. I think it adds a lot to the game. I've played it a bunch. It's like one of my favorites still to this day. And it's an older game. I think like early 2000s or something like that. But yeah, it's the expansion. It sold for $31.50. All right, next up, I think we have 3 more items. I know I'm going through this really quickly. Australian bottle opener right there. This is like a cool metal one. It just says I Heart Australia. It has like the flag and the kangaroo there. It's like a pretty good, you can tell it's like a girthy, just like a good quality bottle opener. It's not a cheap one. This one sold for $15. We probably got this at like an estate sale. Do you remember where we got this one? Yeah, me neither. All right. Next, last item, or second to last item, Sword and Sorcery, the Book of Eldritch Might right here. Yeah, this is just gonna, you need a Dungeons and Dragons book to use this, but this is gonna have additional like classes and spells and stuff for you to introduce into your game as a player or as a dungeon master. This one to a repeat buyer at $8.50. And then the last thing that we sold, I think it was on Bonanza. Right here is a DVD aircraft Masterclass Model Buildings Videos Masterclass Clinic number 2 aircraft series or something like that. It's just teaching you how to build miniature airplanes and stuff like that. I think this one's sealed. I think this sold for actually around $40. So that, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you just get extra sales on Bonanza. We have a lot of our stuff on Bonanza. So yeah, that is everything that we were shipping out today on Monday. It's going to take a long time to pack this up, so that's why I went really fast, or else I'd be able to talk more about some of this stuff. So if you're just here for eBay, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But now I'm about to jump into like a little bit of what we did over the weekend. So it's really cool. Like this is why I like eBay, because you get to put all you upfront all the work, and then later on you get to reap the benefits. So we went to the library to check out some games. Our library has a bunch of different games. So we got Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and then we also got Detective Pikachu Returns. I also played some individual Torchlight 2 on my own on the Switch, and then Aneta finished her campaign of Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox. So those were the individual games we played. And then together we did Super Mario Brothers Wonder. We got through like 75% of it. And apparently this is going to be like a hot internet take. We didn't like this game. Apparently people love this game. They think it's like top 5. There was so many colors. Things were moving just too fast. Maybe we're too old or something for this. We did get through like 75% of it. Man, I felt like my eyes were like just like hurting. My brain was melting after we like were done playing for like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know if we're going to finish it. This is why it was awesome to check it out from the library, because now we didn't have to pay this $50, $60, $70 for this. But yeah, apparently that's a hot take that we didn't really enjoy it. Too much going on. All right. And then Aneta, this is a single player game, Detective Pikachu Returns. I think she was having a good time playing it. You're just like clicking on stuff, talking to people, and solving a case. Not my type of game, so I didn't watch too much of it. I was playing some Torchlight on the side while she was playing this. Actually, no, I wasn't, because that's both a Switch. Whatever. I watched like a little bit. She got through like maybe like half of the game. I think she will go back to finish this. But yeah, so yeah, that was awesome to be basically playing video games. All this stuff was selling. But yeah, now it's Monday. We're back at it. I have a bunch of stuff to list. So yeah, there's no time for games for a bit. So yeah, this whole day is going to be taken up by just eBay, which is fine. Like I wish that was the problem every day. So yeah, have a good one, everyone.